Well, we've had our little Hyundai Ioniq now for 2 weeks. You folks that have been following our trip here, we're still out in sunny California, right? We've had our Ioniq, having a blast with it. We've had it for 2 weeks, and everything is going along just fine and dandy. You know, because you watched earlier that I went and I picked up her first oil change. I thought I was under a helicopter or something. Pay attention out here in California. You might see a black cloud. What is it? Oh yeah, bad to the bone. Anyway, it's kind of a little bit foggy on the oil change schedule. All right, between severe, what they call severe, and what they call normal driving. I think I remember my salesman back in Muskegon telling me that probably ought to follow the severe because of the area that we drive in or whatever, and which just means that I had to change the oil at 37.50 or thereabouts. But then the other one is the normal driving is 7,500 miles because we're using synthetic zero. We're using this. And you saw this on the other one. I just bought this stuff yesterday, or day before yesterday, whatever it was. And I kept my receipts. You got to keep your receipts to keep your warranty up and stuff. All right. So here's what we're putting in her. This is just a funnel. This is just my homemade funnel. All right. Got her all cleaned up and going to. I'll clean it out, make sure there's no dust in it and all that kind of stuff. I'm good at this. I've been doing it for years. All right. So anyway, so the Hyundai dealer here in California tells me no, it's we're not under the severe thing because they don't have snow and ice and salt on the roads and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not commuting, so we're just basically doing the cruising down the highway and seeing the country here. So they should be following the 7,500 miles. Well, you can see I'm at 4,569 miles right now. So you know, it's a little tiny bit over the severe, but we're not in the severe zone. They said that they wouldn't change it until 7,500 to have them do it, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Do it myself. I'd love to do my own oil changes and stuff whenever possible, which should be like forever. Okay. So anyway, but I do get a free oil change back home, my first oil change. But I'm out here. I'm like 20-some hundred miles away from Muskegon, Michigan, where the car was from. So I don't know, maybe I can connive him into giving me a different one, because this is going to be my first one. All right. So this is really fun. It's really fascinating. I'm going to show you underneath here what's going on. This is pretty cool. I've already took a peek. This is a brand new car. Let's shut the door. Oh. And here we go. Here's under the hood. Pretty cool. All brand new. Here's the. If you're curious as to what the oil looks like in it right now, just a minute. Let me get a rag here. Let me get a towel so you can see. You know, this is 4,500 miles. Just a minute here. We'll push this right here like this, and we'll just drip. I'll try to drip a little bit of oil on here so everybody can see what kind of condition the original oil is in it. All right, this will be fascinating, won't it? All right, and I'll just paint a little bit on there. Actually, you can see it pretty much looks like brand new still. Let me dip her down in there again. Yes, I put it on this white cloth so you can. So everybody can see, yeah. It's got a little tinge to it, but not bad. Not bad at all. Nope. It looks like brand new oil yet. But I'm going to go ahead. It's its first oil change. I was going to go ahead and do it anyway, even though the guy said that they wouldn't do it yet until 7,500 miles. That would be my here in California, because they're not under severe driving conditions like I guess we are back in Michigan. And boy, that oil looks like brand new. I could put it back in the jug. Put it back in the jug and take it back, turn it back in and say, oh, I didn't need this. No, I wouldn't do that. No, you didn't hear me say that. You didn't hear that. No, I'm really kidding. But anyway, just a minute here. So there you have that. You want to see what the level is on it right now? Up on the stands, it's right exactly at full. This little sweet 1.6 liter little skipper didn't use a drop of oil. Of course it shouldn't, it's brand new. Hold on here. We'll put that back in there, okay? A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people do this. I kind of don't mind doing it. I just take the oil cap and maybe just loosen it up a little bit and leave it there. That lets a little bit of air get into the crankcase when you're draining the oil. Now, let me show you underneath here. Ain't that pretty? Boy, oh boy. It's my first brand new car. And, wow, it's really fun. I've worked on a lot of cars. I don't remember ever having the pleasure of ever having to do this with my own brand new one before, so this is going to be fun. Alright, so these are really cool underneath here. I love this. Look, take a look at this. I don't know if you can see this in there or not, but they got like a little skid plate. It's not metal. It's not made for going over jumps and stuff. And I'm sure it's designed for what do they call those things? It's designed for airflow. There we go. It is like a press plastic board stuff, but they've got this thing well laid out. Here's the oil filter where you reach up and get the oil filter out right here. Looks like 3 10mm bolts, and then back here, I don't know if you can see this or not, is another port. It's 2 10mm bolts, and that's got the oil drain. What is it? Is that what that says on there? Yeah, engine oil. It says engine oil on it. It looks to me like, and I haven't done this yet. Okay, this is the first one for me too. But it's got a little arrow on it pointing that way. See it right there? Yeah. Okay. And an arrow on the oil filter one pointing that way. That's probably undo the bolts, pull it open a little bit and push it that way, or maybe that's a lineup, because I do see another arrow there. Maybe it's just a lineup, and we're gonna find out here in a minute. All right, ain't she pretty? Now I'm also filming this for my own keepsake, because man, they don't stay new very long, do they? Not really. This one's already got 4,500 miles on it in 2 weeks time. Boy, she's doing good, getting really good gas mileage. We've been running back and forth hour or so over to the hospital up north to visit my grandson while we're here. That's it, laying in a hospital bed up there. And that's I don't know, what is that, maybe a 200-mile round trip or something like that. And it's been getting regular 57, 56, 57 out there on the 99. And we've seen as high as 67 miles to the gallon with the little gal. Not a gal. Trooper is her name. Trooper's his name, I should say. Alright. There you have it. So, yeah, look at that, just pretty up there, all brand new and shiny and clean, and wow, what a machine. What a machine. Hey, thank you, people in Korea, for making this. This particular vehicle is, my understanding is it's over 90% made in Korea. And I kind of like that. I like, you know, if I'm going to buy domestic, I prefer to have them 90% or better made in America. They're going to be made in Japan. I like the 90% or better. And that's the reason being is years ago I had problems with some switches in my conversion van. I had a StarCraft GMC conversion van, really nice outfit, but you couldn't keep a doggone ignition switch in it. And you come to find out that the switches were made in Mexico, and somebody used the wrong grease inside of the switches, and it caused that the greases got hot, and it isolated the contacts, and the car would shut down. And not, you know, I mean, I know the automakers don't mind doing stuff like that. It's just not that big a deal to them. But when you got a family of 4 kids and a man and his wife, and you're on your way to Disney World or whatever, and it dies on the side of the highway, and you got to work on it, and we didn't get it tow in. I never carried the tow in insurance, but I just fixed my own cars, and I did replace the switch 3, 4, or 5 times, and finally took one apart and found out what it was. Well, every time I took it back to the dealership, they told me that it wasn't their problem, it was a Mexican problem. And so I discovered right then and there that you're better off, whatever you buy, that it's wholly and solely made by the company that you buy it from. So if it's made in Korea, you want a car that, if it's a Korean Kia or a Hyundai or whatever, you want it the largest percentage made in Korea. So all of the problems fall onto the hands of the Koreans. If it's a made in Japan car like a Toyota, you want to get one that's highly made. The biggest percentage of the car is made there. Preferably, I like the over 90% or more. 100% is perfect, you know. So if there's a problem, it's a Japanese problem, not an American crossbreed. You can't, none of this blame the problems on. Isn't that beautiful? Blame any problems you have on the other guy routine. So, and then the same thing with American made. You know, none of this, no excuses, GMC or Ford or whoever. If you have a problem with your car, it's an American problem, and it's something that should be handled here in the country and not blamed on another country. That scapegoat, is that what they call it? So, anyway, there you have it. I'm getting ready to swap the oil. I'm going to put some fresh oil in the old girl and in the new girl, and we're going to go from there. All right. So brand new oil, 2 weeks old. September 15th is today. And let me see here. And get ready to put some new oil in her. And of course, I'll keep my receipts and all that kind of stuff. So there's what it looks like. All right. So let's pull those three, pull the oil filter, pull the cap, and put in that new. Let's see how she goes. All right. Do you take that upside down? I don't know. Hey, get out and ride. Get out and ride. Or if you can't, at least get out and work on whatever it is you're going to be driving or riding.